Jordan Peterson reacts to Dan Goldman's statement that the First Amendment is not absolute.
And we're supposed to equate the people sitting in jail who rioted and attacked this Capitol, we're supposed to equate them with these hostages. Mr. Chairman, you continually say that it used to be that both parties agreed with the First Amendment. It didn't used to be. It is. It remains the case. We all agree with the First Amendment, but the problem is that the First Amendment is not absolute. It does not protect any single thing anyone says, and there are limits, and that's important. And what this committee has been trying to do for the last year and a half is to chill the federal government from monitoring what is going on social media and otherwise out there, so that misinformation and disinformation can run rampant in on Elon Musk's social platform and every other social platform, so that the Republicans, can benefit from it in November's election. That is why this committee exists.
The time of the gentleman.
And we have gotten no evidence to support any of these allegations.
Well, we have very weak free speech protections in Canada, and I can tell you that is not going well. And so the combination in my country, the combination of that and the invasive technology that we're producing at a rate that beggars the imagination, produces a threat to the integrity of sovereign citizenship, the likes of which has not yet been experienced, right? And that's what this committee should be concentrating on. Like, it's very interesting to watch it because it devolves continually into discussion of a particular event, serious though that event was. It's like, no matter how serious that event was, it pales in comparison to the potential severity of the issue that we're attempting to point to with regards to our testimony. These artificially intelligent systems can do things you can't imagine. And not only can they are and they will. And that will be abetted by the collusion between large corporations and government. And it's certainly the case that the people who stand on the left, especially with regards to their, what would you say, skepticism of large corporations, which is often perfectly warranted, should be utterly terrified about this.
Let me tell you what, people, you need that First Amendment. And Kat Kamak is also pointing to the truckers in Canada, and Jordan Peterson is himself Canadian, and he said that there is weak First Amendment protection in Canada. Can you be thrown in jail if you use the wrong pronoun? Maybe. Will your bank account be frozen if you're a trucker and protests that you need a vaccine when you're driving in a truck by yourself? That's exactly what happened. There were arrests, there were bank account freezings. You know, in this country, the left is so unhinged, and I would say so brainwashed, that they want this stuff to happen to conservatives, right? They say, yeah, they feel a certain way, they think a certain way, take their bank account, close their social media. But what these crazy leftists and all of us should realize is that the foundation of our freedoms and our freedom of speech come from the First Amendment. And just because you don't like that speech doesn't mean it should be banned or have consequences for you. I think it was a famous Supreme Court justice that said the speech that we should protect the most is the speech that offends us the most. And I believe that. I think that basically the First Amendment should be almost absolute. And I also don't really believe in hate speech, because hate speech is a way to categorize speech that the person in power doesn't like. I'll say that again. The person in power is making the decision, and they're calling it hateful because they don't like it. And that's a way to silence opposition. And we're living through really crazy times right now. And I think it's really important for us to realize what is happening. You know, before the 2020 election, there's a court case right now in the Supreme Court about this, right now, that our federal government went to the social media companies and said, you know, this laptop, you should probably censor it. That means the government is going to private corporations and telling them what to do and creating censorship. That does violate our First Amendment rights when the government is stepping in and censoring what a private company is able to and is able not to do. So everyone, wake up. Realize what's happening. This is how you become a third world dictatorship in a banana republic where you have no rights to free speech or any rights at all.